Welcome back to the battles between Sauron versus Constantine and who will win. Before we dive into the analysis, please remember to subscribe to my channel to support me. Thank you very much.
Sauron, also known by the fearsome names of Lord of Darkness, Enemy, or Dark Sorcerer, is one of the most powerful and mysterious entities in the world of Middle-earth. Initially, he was not the embodiment of evil. Sauron was a Maya, a high-ranking spirit with a nature close to divine, who served Aula and was renowned for his rare crafting talent. But his thirst for control and his misguided belief in absolute order led him down a dark path. Enchanted by the power of Morgoth, the first Lord of Darkness, Sauron gradually abandoned the light to become his most loyal servant. After Morgoth's defeat, Sauron did not disappear but rose to power, proclaiming himself the second Dark Lord, spreading terror throughout Mordor. Sauron's peak power was demonstrated through the creation of the One Ring, a tool that not only contained his power but also an invisible thread manipulating the will of all Middle-earth. Through this ring, Sauron sought to control all races, turning them into pawns in his game of domination. Sauron's fearsome nature stemmed not only from his strength but also from his indestructible spirit. He existed as an immortal being, capable of being defeated in form but never truly vanishing. He was considered one of the most powerful Maiar, an entity nearly on par with the Valar in some respects. Sauron possessed true immortality. He could not be completely destroyed, only weakened over time. Even when he loses his physical form, he exists as a pure spirit or symbol, like the Eye of Sauron, silently observing and waiting for an opportunity to return. His ability to shapeshift is remarkable. Sauron can take on countless forms, from terrifying creatures like giant wolves, snakes, or vampires that blanket the sky, to the perfect form known as Anatar, designed to deceive and manipulate people's trust. Each form serves a single purpose: control and domination. Sauron is also a master of dark magic and necromancers. He controls darkness, creates illusions, manipulates souls, and even controls death. The majestic fortress of Barad-dûr and the desolate lands of Mordor are clear evidence of his ability to bend nature, from volcanoes to weather to his will. Sauron's mind manipulation reaches a colossal scale. Through the One Ring, he controls the other rings of power and gradually bends the wills of countless creatures. His will was so strong that it formed an almost impenetrable mental barrier, leaving anyone who confronted him at risk of being consumed by their own fear. He had faced and defeated many elite warriors, enduring terrible attacks without succumbing. But the pinnacle of his power lay in his crafting abilities. The One Ring was not just a weapon, but a crystallized embodiment of his soul and will, amplifying his power to unprecedented levels. One of his most notable feats was his confrontation with Finrod Felagund, where Sauron won a tense magical duel, proving his superior intellect and power. However, he also suffered defeats against Huan and Luthien, a reminder that even the most powerful darkness can sometimes be repelled. Sauron rose to become a master manipulator. In the form of Anatar, he deceived the elves into creating the Rings of Power, while secretly forging the One Ring to control them all. The culmination of this manipulation was the downfall of Númenor, when he led King Ar-Pharazôn down a path of destruction, causing an entire powerful empire to sink into the depths of the sea. Afterward, Sauron nearly conquered all of Middle-earth, until he faced the final alliance. In the War of the Last Alliance, he was defeated by Gil-galad and Elendil, but not before inflicting terrible damage, even nearly taking both their lives. Despite the defeat, he only lost the One Ring, his essence remaining. In the Third Age, Sauron returned in the shadows under the name Necromancer in Dol Guldur. Silently accumulating power, he controlled the Witch King of Angmar and the Nazgul, preparing for the decisive. When the War of the Ring erupted, he not only commanded the orcs and other fearsome creatures, but also manipulated the entire situation through the One Ring, making it the center of all conflict. Sauron was not simply a warrior or a sorcerer. He was a force capable of bending nature, controlling history, and manipulating the fate of many races. Every step he takes is calculated to move closer to his goal of world domination. If he hadn't lost the One Ring, it's highly likely that all of Middle-earth would have been plunged into eternal darkness, where his will became the only unstoppable law.
Remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and turn on notifications to watch the latest videos. Thank you very much.
Now we'll talk about John Constantine. John Constantine isn't the typical hero you'd easily believe. He's an occult detective, a British street magician, living on the fine line between the human world and supernatural forces. He doesn't possess overwhelming physical strength or a prestigious title. What sustains Constantine is his sharp intellect, recklessness, and terrifying ability to manipulate psychology. He's just an ordinary man, burdened by a haunting past, indelible mistakes, and a persistent addiction that feels like a curse. These scars have forged him into a cold, pragmatic individual, willing to pay any price to survive, even if that price is sometimes the soul of another or the last vestiges of his humanity. From demons and angels to ancient entities, even Lucifer Morningstar, he has never triumphed through sheer power. Instead, Constantine uses his extensive knowledge of occultism, black magic rituals, and especially his ability to manipulate situations to turn the tables at the last moment. A nearly fated element linked to him is the so-called synchronization wave, a form of supernatural luck that always appears at the right time, helping him escape seemingly insurmountable situations. But this luck doesn't come for free. It often has devastating consequences for those around him. He is a master of deception, always seeking to defeat opponents far stronger than himself through intellect and audacity. In a world where power often dictates everything, Constantine proves that sometimes the most dangerous are those with nothing but a cold, sharp mind and a willingness to play to the bitter end. Constantine is a versatile sorcerer with an incredibly rich repertoire of occult skills. He can summon demons, perform exorcisms, create illusions, summon spirits, prophesy, and manipulate energy. Not stopping there, he also opened spatial portals, sealed dangerous entities, and even interfered with the consciousness of others. He could turn defeat into opportunity, narrowly escape death, and trap his opponents without them realizing it. But like all dangerous gifts, the price was often paid by those around him, casting a shadow of tragedy over his life. Constantine's occult knowledge was almost limitless. He understood the nature of hell and heaven, as well as the operating rules of supernatural entities. Thanks to this, he could not only fight but also negotiate, deceive, or force beings stronger than himself to follow the rules he set. Even Lucifer Morningstar and ancient forces were outsmarted by him with his intellect. He could deceive both friends and foes, from heroes like Batman and Superman to ancient demons. His unwavering willpower helps him resist possession and mind control, making him one of the few who can stand firm against supernatural temptations and pressures. The demonic bloodline from Nurgle grants him faster regeneration and extended lifespan, as well as a certain resistance to dark magic. But Constantine's greatest weapon remains his preparation. He always stays one step ahead, formulating long-term plans, exploiting his opponent's weaknesses, and leveraging every surrounding factor to control the game. Constantine isn't the strongest, but he's the most dangerous in desperate situations. Because when all the rules seem to favor the enemy, he's the one who rewrites the rules in ways no one can foresee. Among his most shocking feats was Constantine's confrontation with Nurgle, a demon lord capable of bending reality on a terrifying scale. Instead of a direct clash, Constantine systematically thwarted Nurgle's plan to create the Antichrist, delivering a decisive blow that led to Nurgle's bitter defeat. Constantine repeatedly outmaneuvered the First of the Fallen, one of the most powerful entities in hell. He deceived, bargained, and manipulated situations to save his own soul and prevent impending apocalyptic scenarios. Constantine also fearlessly confronted angels and high-level supernatural entities. He tricked Gabriel, negotiated directly with Lucifer Morningstar, and helped prevent destructive threats like Pralaya. He wasn't the strongest, but he understood the rules of the game better than anyone. Constantine saved Earth from hellish armies, destructive conspiracies, and threats spreading across multiple dimensions. Although he sometimes only indirectly intervenes in major events involving entities like the Anti-Monitor, his influence is enough to shift the course of events in unexpected ways. Constantine has also clashed with Swamp Thing and collaborated with or opposed the Justice League Dark. He has traversed hell, heaven, and countless other dimensions while maintaining his true self. What makes the difference isn't the number of victories, but how he wins. Constantine doesn't need overwhelming power to be dangerous. He fights with his mind, with recklessness, and with the ability to see moves that no one else recognizes. He is the one who dares to step onto the chessboard and change the rules of the game in his own way. The confrontation between Sauron and John Constantine is a battle between two completely opposite mindsets. One is the embodiment of absolute power in Middle-earth. The other is a survivor of intellect and cunning in the chaotic world of Hellblazer, a neutral wasteland where neither side held an absolute advantage. Sauron possessed the One Ring, while Constantine entered the battle adequately prepared, yet calculated. Sauron appeared as a colossal, shadowy entity, or in the form of a blazing eye, immediately unleashing mental attacks aimed at crushing his opponent's will. The air was suffocating with dark magic, where every thought was at risk of being invaded. Constantine did not confront him directly, but erected protective shields, combining illusions to distract him. He summoned lower-level entities to probe and observe Sauron's reactions, for him, understanding his opponent was always more important than attacking. Sauron transformed into his physical form, becoming a monster wielding Maya's power combined with the ring's might. The pressure was now not just mental but physical, enough to crush any human. But Constantine did not fight in the usual way. Thanks to his ability to manipulate probability, he consistently dodged attacks by a hair's breadth, turning deadly blows into counterattacks. Curses, exorcism rituals, and psychological tactics were unleashed, targeting Sauron's greatest weakness, his arrogance and absolute belief in his own power. Simultaneously, Constantine gradually sought to access the ring, the most crucial link in his opponent's entire power structure. This was evident when Sauron summoned armies of shadows, from orcs to Nazguls, or created colossal illusions to completely overwhelm the battlefield. But this was also when Constantine displayed his full prowess. He didn't hesitate to summon even more dangerous entities, using occult magic to directly interfere with Sauron's soul. The psychological game reached its climax when Constantine feigned defeat, gradually luring his opponent into a pre-planned trap. In the decisive moment, he could use the ring itself to turn against its master, transforming seemingly absolute power into a point of collapse. Constantine exploited Sauron's dependence on the ring, combining it with a ritual or agreement with a higher entity to sever the source of Maya's power. Once the connection was broken, Sauron was no longer the invincible Dark Lord, but a weakened soul, imprisoned in an irrecoverable state. John Constantine was stronger and victorious.
What do you think of this battle? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you all very much.